Hey, what's up? It's your boy AG the Dad with Shit Talking Sundays. This is In the Light of a Warrior with the MS Warrior. Today we're talking about multiple sclerosis. Doctor, give me the news. Today the MS Warrior is going to give us some news that not even I know about. But before we do all that, I'm going to need y'all to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done it. I'm going to need y'all to hit that follow button if you haven't done that. I'm going to need y'all to hit the notification button if y'all haven't done that. Because without all of y'all, there is no me. And there's no Shit Talking Sundays if you guys don't want to get involved. So please, with all that, I'm going to need you to get involved and, tell a friend. But with all that being said and done, plus my disclaimer, this is not medical advice, just my journey. Well, actually not my journey, the MS Warrior's journey with her journey with multiple sclerosis. So make sure that you consult your physician before you try anything that we talk about here. Only do it with your doctor's permission. So with that being said, hey.
Hey. Good evening. How are you?
I'm all right.
All right. So, hey, guys. Well, and everybody's staying being with this heat right now, and that causes a lot of symptoms to kind of wreak a little havoc and get irritated. So it's important to stay cool. So let me start off by saying anything I discuss with you guys tonight and give you information about myself and my journey on medications with multiple sclerosis is solely and strictly what my medical team has put on board for me. I would never give you medical advice. I don't portray to be a doctor. And I would never tell you, hey, take what I'm taking, because what's good for you may not be good for me. What's good for me may not be good for you. But by all means, if you feel that you are having a emergency situation, please call 911 or reach out to your family, um, or your medical team. Okay. With that being said, I just reached my 17th injection on Sunday, guys. Woohoo! I made it on the Kesimpta this far. For a minute, it was looking kind of sketchy, like, oh man, my side effects, my doctor's going to take me off, and I didn't want that to happen, but that didn't happen, so I'm so happy. Right now, I'm a little under the weather. I'm not feeling my 100% self, which my 100% self wouldn't be what a healthy person 100% is, but you guys know what I mean. Us as warriors, um, what my baseline is, I should say. Some days I feel like $1,000,000, and some days I feel like a bag of gum. So, but that is because the injection. Um, the first day I did my injection, I felt good. About 10, 15 minutes into it, though, I did feel a big wave of tiredness, in which usually that happens. And it went away. I just felt a little drag for the rest of the day. I injected. I try not to inject past 1 o'clock in the early afternoon. I don't inject at night, um, because, and this, I can say this, I don't advise anyone to inject at night unless your medical team has said inject at night. For the reasons being is, if you do have side effects, or you have a reaction to the medicine, it's harder to distinguish, you know, what's happening, because you've been asleep for maybe a few hours or so, and you get woke up, and you really don't know what's going on at that point, whether if you're having a medical emergency just to, something happening, on its own, or if the injection has brought something on. Um, and I went through that on my first injection. I took it at night. I took it maybe 8 o'clock at night, my very first injection. And not knowing then, my doctor would say, don't inject at night. Now, my doctor has told me, do not inject at night. I want you to be fully up and aware of how your body's feeling after the injection. If you have not been feeling yourself that day before injection, then you can kind of decipher and you know what is going on, opposed to being asleep and sleeping through some stuff. So the first injection at night, I went to bed probably about 11:30, actually falling asleep. By 1 o'clock, I was awakened by a fever, chills. I was shaking, and no, I didn't feel good at all. It was kind of scary because I knew of the side effects, but we don't know if the side effects have caused other things to go haywire. I mean, it's a possibility. It just depends on how your system is going to react. So, um, that's why I inject at 1 o'clock. If sometimes I will try and do it early, but I figure, okay, by at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, um, within, I notice, a 2-3 hour window, I've I've got full fledged feeling of, and whether it's good or bad, it's there, it's present, it's rearing, it's good or bad, ugly face. So, and every time seems to be a little different, and that's one thing about this medication, um and prior medications I've been on, is so unpredictable. Whew, one month you can inject and feel nothing at all. The next month you're hit with that train of full-fledged flu. You're down 2, 3, 4 days. So this medicine is not one like something that you take on a regular basis and you get the same result. It doesn't go like this. Well, one day I take a Tylenol, and I feel this way. The next day I take a Tylenol or even a vitamin, and just feel different effects from it. That's the downside. Unpredictable, just like MS, unpredictable. So right now I'm feeling a little under the weather, and I noticed this time around, well, every time around, I always suffer from headaches after. So it's no different this time, but this time it's affecting my vision a little bit, and lights are hurting my eyes. And yeah, it started yesterday, which was Monday. I injected Sunday. Um, I felt okay on Sunday, but Monday and then now today, I still have the headache, and it's going, and I'm keeping it down with Tylenol, and it is working. It's not out of control, but it's there, and I just noticed the difference with the headaches. The normal headaches is just like, okay, normal headache. This one, um, is affecting my eyes, and light is affecting me, and you know stuff like that. But I would say, that's very mild compared to what I had about 2, 3 months bad reaction. As you guys know, we did a podcast on how I was feeling that Tuesday on the podcast, and it wasn't good. I was down 6 days. Even went to the hospital. They started checking me for infections and that kind of stuff. So it's like, woo, this is our life with MS anyway. And then here comes the medicines, taking us on a roller coaster as well. But hey, what can you say? I'm very grateful that there is a disease modifying treatment. Opposed to years ago, they didn't have that. They did some shock therapy that you wouldn't want to probably experience. So I'm very grateful, and I consider this very mild because I am up, um, doing the podcast, right? So forgive me if I'm not my laughy, bubbly self. If you guys think I'm bubbly, but but tonight I'm a little slow. I'm a little down a little bit. So, and I want to share something because this is my journey with multiple sclerosis. And um, I, for the last 6 months and in 3 month intervals, being on the Kesimpta, your doctor is supposed to send you, to have your blood work checked and make sure your liver count and your kidneys, everything, your white count, your red count, everything's checking out okay because you're more susceptible to infections being on this medication. And so 6 months, my platelet count has been rising, and not by much, maybe 15 points per 3 months, but evidently it's not supposed to. Okay, so um, I raised some eyebrows with my medical team, and um, they decided, let you need to go see a hematologist and find out. I guess because with the, course with the blood, you need to see a blood doctor, which that's the hematology oncology doctor. So I said, okay, shoot me over there. So they put me in a slingshot and shot me right over there. And they wanted some tests, done blood work, current, and it had risen a little bit. And she was like, we had, which I had been there prior, about a year and a half prior to not feeling well, and some tests showing um, something as well then. And they sent me to her, and she actually started checking for blood cancers, different types of leukemia. and stuff, and my markers showed negative. And due to from those tests till now, um, I guess she looked at those, and I was in office, so um, we were looking at those results and stuff, and she didn't see other things didn't match up to this problem now with what tests were done already. And I guess it was just in a close proximity time, it would show some type of markers that if I was tested then, what's going on with me now, if that would have any um, you know problem with each other, from them, that they come together and get a diagnosis. Well, um, so she started rolling out, okay, I've done this test and you nothing points to why your platelet count. A lot of things can make your platelet count rise. Besides, the C word, there's a lot of little things along that trail. Medications, for one, can cause your platelet counts to rise. Illness can make them rise. Inflammation can make them rise. So right off the bat, I wasn't thinking, anything um, negative just because I have multiple sclerosis. I am on a chemotherapy drug, so I was like, oh, okay, well, let's just do some digging, and let's get to the bottom of this. So she decided that after checking off things off the list, well, you're a former smoker, so let's go get a lung screening. And I was like, okay. So once again, put me in that little slingshot, and there I go, take my test. And that was last week. um, Checked my patient portal on Sunday, and the results were in. Kind of scary, because I'm not a radiologist, so I couldn't read the 100 pictures of my lungs that were there, but after all those, your x-rays and stuff, they always give that little report. I'm glad someone spoke English that I could understand, because that medical terminology is like now if we were in billing or something, I'd be like, oh yeah, that's what that means. I worked at a medical company before, but by no means would I be able to read or even know what the heck those images were, except the one where it just literally I could tell that it was my body laying there with my arms up, and it showed the inside of my, from here down, it showed everything, so I could see my rib cage and my stomach and my spine and everything. So actually looking at that actually was pretty neat. But there was hundreds of, I wouldn't say hundreds, but there had to be at least 100 film there of my insides, and everything checked out really good. My kidneys, my esophagus, um all my organs, inside, they were remarkable. Nothing stood out in that CT. Is actually a CT lung screening, and the only thing that was, besides everything else was remarkable, they're seeing a uh, gray gray patch in my right middle lobe. So that hearing that is kind of scary, for anyone, not just someone with multiple sclerosis, just for anyone. I am a former smoker. I stopped smoking 2 years ago, July. Um, and what the radiologist has said that in the report was ground what they call ground glass opacity, um, OPACITY, and their description of what they're calling that is. And if you guys remember, like back in school, if you've done any sandblasting, like in a shop class or something, you know how sand gives the glass that hazy look, from all the ping, 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 ping. It distorts that and turns it kind of hazy looking. Well, this is what is reported that they're seeing in my right lung. Um, and it's only in one spot. So that's great news. It's not all over. Um, this can be caused from many, many things, not just, um, something that's way off the cliff here. I'm staying positive. I'm going to remain positive regardless of the outcome, and of course, I'll be sharing my with that as well because this is me. Um, so I've done a lot of reading already on it, and there's so many reasons and so many things that this could be. I spoke to um, my nurse at the hematology oncology clinic. They know me pretty good right now, and she's kind of gave me a kind of warranted um, advice not it you know don't let this right now worry me because there's a lot of things that it could just be that it could be nothing, and it could have just been the way that the radiologist took the picture. Right now they can't see any definition of anything. They just see a hazy unclear patch in the film, but it's still, of course, in on the right side, the right side lobe. Um, so of course, I'm waiting now for, and this was, I knew since Sunday, contacted and spoke to them on Monday. So now I wait for them to, for my hematology doctor to put me in that slingshot and send me back over there and probably have a CT scan again, lung screening, but with contrast. Now, she wanted that at first. Two different places do the contrast, just with the written script of wanting a lung screening done, being a former smoker. So I've been through yada 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 with this, trying to get this done actually since May. Um, this one of the radiology places here in Sacramento. I'm not going to say any name. Um, did they were on a contrast shortage, and they kept saying call back in 2 weeks, call back in 2 weeks, call back in 2 weeks. So finally, I said, you know what? I can't keep waiting 2 weeks for that. So I contacted my hematologist and I said, hey, this is what's going on. Can you send a different referral and send me to a different office, different location, as far as Roseville, and you know, see if they have contrast. So lo and behold, found another place. My insurance approved it. Well, went there a couple days ago when I had it done last week and went through the same situation. Now it was about that they get a lung screening now, and a lot of insurances cover that. But if a doctor is specifically looking for something, they need to put it down there. And that's one thing that my hematologist didn't do. She just put former smoker. They will not use contrast on you if your doctor is not looking for a specific thing, not just because you're a smoker. Now, ain't that crazy? So, guess what? I had the test done anyway because there's too many reasons for me not to have it, even without the contrast. I got them on the phone. This radiologist said, hey, I've been doing this 36 years. We don't use contrast on someone if just because they're a former smoker. Okay, well, shit. Rising platelet count. I have multiple sclerosis. What more do you need for my doctor to say, hey, this is reasoning enough to, give her contrast so we can get right to the point. She's in her age and she's only stopped smoking 2 years ago, and she's shortness of breath there. So, in my doctor's eyes, hey, that was good enough. But into this radiological place in Elk Grove, they were playing hardball. So anyway, I said, okay, let's cut the back and forth. Give me the freaking test, and we'll go from there. So lo and behold, now that they see this gray area in my lung, I have to go back and I'm sure do it with contrast. Okay, so this could have nipped that in the bud and yada yada. Okay, so whatever. So this is this is what I've been dealing with since actually Sunday. Okay, and on top of the injecting and da 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 da. So you guys, please you know keep your prayers out for your warrior girl, that that this is nothing big. Um, in my luck. Hopefully it's just something in that the picture, it wasn't clear, and that's what how the picture came out. There's many reasons why someone can have this show up. Um, there's fluid, and we're not talking fluid like pneumonia. I have no mass, I have no pneumonia. Everything looks remarkable in my lungs except this cloudy, fuzzy thing on the picture on that side. So, um, I don't feel sick lung wise. Yes, I do get out of breath very easily for the last since I was diagnosed. Um, I have had I wouldn't say lung screening before, but I've had plenty CT scans on my belly and in the hospital of my chest and stuff. I don't think that this, whatever it is, if it's nothing, if it is something, I don't think it's been there too long. Um, I haven't had, as much as blood work is done on me, something would have showed before the last 6 months if it had been there already. But fluid, if my lungs aren't filtering the fluid enough, that could be a reason. Um, it can naturally happen and naturally go away. So medication can cause this. Um, so there's a lot of inflammation is big on um, what they're saying in the lung, and it can block um some airways in that patch if it is something. So there's many other things that is on the less spectrum of something serious with this test. So you guys just please, like I said, say your prayers for me. That won't hurt, right? So I will definitely keep you guys posted on my testing, what they say, what's going to happen, and the next moves, and all that good stuff. I'm hoping they'll be like, hey, that was just a lost breath mint that you swallowed and went down the wrong pipe, and it's sitting there, something like that. But anyhow, so I'm gonna stay and remain positive. That's for sure. And I always tell people that, like my friends, and we talk, and they get stressed out, and I'm like, don't stress out until it's time to stress out. You know what I mean? You're stressing out a little bit too early. So I'm not going to work myself up and worry about that now before time. That's not healthy for me with my MS, because that will send me into a flare, stressing over health already. Well, I really don't stress over my health because I've kind of learned now that I'm living MS. MS isn't living me. So I'm really not down on my life with MS. I am trying to stay positive and keep it moving and forward. I've adjusted to the lifestyle that I'm living, and it helps because everyone around me, my support system, is there for that. They're not trying to change that or take that from me or push me in any way to say, no, get up, get out, and stuff like that. Everybody lets me live
Mhm.
my my life without any questions, because um, they know and they understand. I try to be educational in everything that I hear or learn, or I research myself. I pass it on to my son, um, Larry, my grandkids here at home. I pass it on so everyone knows um, what I'm up against. And this is why it'll explain why, my behavior, my lifestyle, why I choose to do this and not that. You know what I mean? So education is key.
You know,
Education is key. If people
speaking,
go
listen,
ahead, AG.
speaking of education, um, couple things. When just a question, when you're saying something like you got to do this and da da da, that da 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 is not educating me. I'm just FYI. I don't know what da 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 is, so I'm gonna leave that. And two, just because it's Sundays, and for some reason today I feel like cheering you up with some shit talking just to to put a smile on your face. But
Thank you.
I'm gonna have to say you and your husband. Actually, scratch that. Is that's your room, right? That's you and your husband's room.
This is our office.
Oh, okay. Then I guess my joke isn't gonna work. But I was gonna say, uh, if it was your bedroom, I was gonna say you and your husband are pretty kinky because you got a lot of toys on the dresser back there. You got a lot of things looking at you. It's like, hey, y'all want to watch me?
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny.
Hey, hey, I'm gonna tell you. For me, I remember when me and my girl first started dating. Right
Mhm.
over her bed, she had a portrait of her family. It was her, and her
Uh,
kids, and it was
Oh,
blown up real big. It was over her bed,
oh.
and every time we messed around, and I just happened to look up, there it was like they were looking at me like, "Hey, what are you
Yeah,
doing?"
yeah,
So that's now when
yeah, that's
I'm
uncomfortable.
I'm not into people watching me perform, or I'd have been a porn star, but I'm not a porn star. Not saying I'm not capable of being a
Oh, get out of here.
I'm not. I don't want to be out there like that. But let me tell you, uh, yeah, you little,
Yeah, that's a
especially the
funny.
kind of you got Baby Yoda watching y'all. That's what I was gonna
Yeah,
say, man. Y'all got Baby Yoda.
the
But anyway,
child.
now that I put a
Hey,
smile
I
on
got
your
a
face,
child in here.
yeah,
Thank you,
the
AJ.
gloom is gone. Let's get back to now. I guess you could sob story us again some more. But shit talking Sunday fans out there, you never
Yes.
know what you're
So,
gonna get
hey,
from me. Hold on, I need everybody to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification button. If you're the one if you're the people that are listening to me from Twitch, man, I especially want y'all to share because I find it very exciting that I have Twitch listeners. So please share, let other people know that
really? All
MS
right.
does this, and the more people that you inform, the bigger we get. The bigger we get, the more informational we can become, because then people are going to reach out to me and want to provide you all MS Nation um, more information that might help you better handle what you're going through. With that being said,
Exactly.
carry on.
Yes.
Uh-oh, did she pause? She's frozen. Uh-oh. I guess we'll have to hold on. She's trying to come back. Her internet. That's the thing about
Oh,
doing stuff on these podcasts. Up, I think. Up, she was back, and then here we go. Are you back? There we go.
we're back in. Okay.
We're
Yep.
back
Sorry,
in.
guys. No telling if it's on mic or whatnot or whatever, but I'm gonna answer Brenda B. She wrote a comment. She said, "I just started with the headaches. Also, I got dizzy, scary, feel better. Thank you, Brenda. You feel better too. Is that you got the headaches and the dizziness too with after injecting your medication? Let me know. Or is that just in general? In general, I do have some dizziness. Um but sometimes it's worse than others and sometimes it's not. And just a couple weeks ago, honestly, I was getting kind of scared and I was thinking, oh my God, am I getting vertigo? I started getting scared. I heard so many stories about vertigo and I was like, oh, how am I going to deal with vertigo? What is it going to feel like? Am I going to be so sick? Am I going to throw up? When I try and sit up, I was just like, oh, please. And then my dizziness started, going away. So, and I was like, oh, okay. It's something, just, and you warriors know we get hit with a little something. It just takes us on a ride. Body doesn't, um, it doesn't react to things as, to someone who isn't suffering from multiple sclerosis, and I'm sure other ailments as well. But and I say this, and I don't say this lightly. Sometimes when I'm talking, to family and friends, and I'm like, thank God I only have MS and not a bunch of other stuff, on top of it, because it's like, um, crap, you know, how what, sheesh. I'm strong now. How much stronger? Of course, can somebody put on themselves? Is there a scale, AG, from 1 to 100? How do you say, um, and I know there's a lot of people, and I'm not taking away from anyone who is suffering from some, multiple ailments, even if it's diabetes and high blood pressure, vice versa, whatever. Now, my 82-year-old father lives with me, and he does have ailments. Actually, he's probably healthy. He has some ailments, and you would never know it, but he has, high cholesterol, he has high blood pressure and stuff like that. But with MS, it affects our brain, our nervous system. So that stops. And if anything disrupts that, we're already disrupted. Those signals are already burnt out, So for us trying to talk, function, see, feel, smell, our emotion, and let alone focus to cut some meat for dinner, turn on the oven, spray the baking pan, all these things, even at a job, that our brain, our body, our physical is working overtime because those signals are broke. Just with me right now, with my hands like this, my hand is numb and it's tingling, and I feel like it's just slow motion. That's how this left feels. When I'm not feeling good, it's worse. Today's one of those days because you guys know I just said I've been having weird headaches and it's affecting my vision since yesterday. And that's a side effect from the Kesimpta. So could you just imagine, like, being stricken with, top of this, anything nerve wise, that hurts,
Mhm.
that hurts. It makes it hard to function. It makes it hard to talk. Your tongue sometimes feel like in your mouth, So it's rough. Speaking of those ailments, I wanted to just talk about something real quick. And I see a lot of my warriors out there um, are afraid and don't know their path. Once they're diagnosed and they're still working, they're having a hard time making a decision, on whether, and they're sick at work, they're hardly hanging on, they're crying on the way home, they're hurting. Multiple sclerosis hurts. There are some warriors that are still working, they're still running, they're in marathons, some of us aren't. Okay, some of us aren't, and we're having a hard time, um, functioning. And what I would say, and I'm, giving advice, to a few people, in conversations off the podcast that on my channel and other groups that I belong to, and I'm saying it tonight. Only you know when it's time to stop working, you and your doctor. Don't ever feel that there's a time limit, there's a time frame. If your performance at work is suffering and you're struggling to get that done, because multiple sclerosis affects our brain, our focus, we get cog fog, and all that. If you're suffering at work and you're just struggling because you're afraid of the unknown, speak to an advocate, please. It's hard enough, I know, dealing with the issues with MS, but and of course, who can live without income, right? It's a big decision, but only you know. There's no time frame. Multiple sclerosis doesn't say, "Hey, now it's time for you to go sit down. I'm taking you out of work." Oh, you stay the next 5 years. If you're hurting, you're having a problem, and it's affecting your tasks at work, and you just feel, I can't do this. I'm hurting and I'm pushing and pressing myself because I don't know what to do or how to go about this. Please reach out to an advocate and get some information to lighten that load off you. You'd be surprised the information that can make you feel and help you make a decision. I could not imagine me still being at work. When this happened, I was at work and I was like, my legs hurt so bad, I could barely walk. I was like, whew. And I thought my age, well, shit, at that time, 5 years back, 6, 7, 8 years, I wasn't old. I'm still not old. But menopause, my doctor, and I kept going to the doctor complaining. It's not my doctors that I have now. And I kept saying, I'm having a hard time standing. I can't stand long. My legs feel like they're burning when I'm working and I'm walking. And they kind of brushed it off. And I remember this lady, and it was my doctor at the time. And it's actually one doctor. I was at a clinic. I seen multiples, and she kind of rolled it off onto, well, your age possibly, and menopause, can affect you in these ways, and da 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 da. And I was like, okay, I believed her. They're the professionals, And then years later, started having, some more issues, and lo and behold, I have multiple sclerosis. So, um, people, there's advocates out there to talk to, and they guide, someone with MS, your doctor as well, because leaving your job, you want to have a file built on your sickness, and you may have had hospital stints like me. um, Everybody knows me at my hospital, in my community. They know, and right away, as soon as they see me, and they say, "Oh, you're here for treatment," stuff like that. So um, you your medical history, tells a lot. And with MS, you that, so that kind of helps someone, a doctor determine, hey, you have enough here, and your complaint, your chief complaint, and I think that you may consider, you know, um, not working, but the choice is solely yours. Me right now, the way that MS has affected me, there's no way I'd be able to. There's no way. I Yeah, just thinking about that just makes me cringe because of how my body feels all the time, let alone to go out and work again. Oh my God. And now that I can't, I'm sad that I can't. When I was working, of course, I was like, man, I don't want to work anymore. Why can't I hit the lottery? And be rich, and, have someone take care of me, or me have my own money to just, live carefree, get a big mobile home, and go across country, and have a cook,
Mhm.
and stuff like that. So,
You know,
um,
speaking of the lottery, I wasn't going to
Mm.
announce it. I was going to wait to the end of the show to announce it. But one of my friends is the one who hit the mega, and they are giving me half of it. Doesn't that sound great? Oh my God, that would just all y'all out there be like,
Yeah.
oh, I want to be a now hit that notification button, that subscribe button. You know, I'm rich, bitch, and I'm gonna need more you know, chime in, let the people know. The first person that can get me 1 million subscribers, I'm gonna split that lottery winning that I got from my friend with you. How's that sound? So, friend,
I
if
wish
you're out
I
there, don't forget AG the dad. I'm still waiting for my cut because I promised some
yeah,
fans that they're going to get it. So, all right,
some
my bad.
money.
Hey, man, I'm just
Yeah.
letting you know what? I won. I won. Shit talking Sundays. No, I just trying to put some shine in the gloom because
Yeah.
we've had some bad cloudy days the last couple days here in my hood, and
Mm,
uh, today is
yeah.
nice and sunny, and it's hot as two
Wow.
horses,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. I, the MS has taught me a lot. Has taught me a great deal of a lot just in being the person that I am today, sitting in this chair. And I've never ever looked at my life, and as you get older, you mature too. But when I was younger, stuff, I never looked at my life as the cup half empty. Things resonate with you more as we get older, of course, because sometimes when we're a little younger, we live carefree, worry free, and all that stuff. I've never, ever lived, of course, worry free, but I didn't stress off the life that I was making for myself. I'm not a big stressor at all. You know what I mean? If I didn't have, we made do, we made the best of it. And I believe in that. I didn't come from a rich background. There's a couple of choices in my life that I could did differently that would have maybe benefited me and my kids better financially. But here's the true story. So check this one out, okay? So, and this is 100% real. So, my father's father and his family are the ones who started the cranberry bog, okay, with that became ocean spray, okay? How come I'm not rich? How come we ain't getting some of that loot? How come we didn't? So the story to this is, and it's crazy,
hold
and
on. But we're not gonna just act like we didn't hear that. So you said, why are we rich? The fact we ain't rich is because, uh, and you could prove that you're related.
yeah,
Oh
yeah,
well, shoot.
but
I got a lawyer. I got attorneys. We rich, bitch. I told you it's a nigga. My friend told me that she gonna give me half. I told y'all fans I need 1 million subscribers, and I'm gonna share my share of my half of what my man.
what I'm giving
Hey,
you.
now everybody can go around telling every people that shit talking Sunday is unofficially part of officially someone who owns it. So whatever cranberry, what is it?
Ocean spray.
Ocean Spray. Shit, we part of Ocean Spray. Shit talking
Yeah.
Sunday. Ocean Spray all day. You know what? I need to reach out to them and let them know that their grandniece
Right.
wants you guys to sponsor Shit Talking Sundays, and I'm gonna need you to cut me a check for $10,000 a month.
Up
Um,
front.
and it's already been pre-approved by the grandniece. Oh, this is great. Greatest day ever. Shit Talking Sundays,
Right.
because every day is Shit Talking Sundays, and you have given me new life.
Right. So no,
Continue with
and
your journey. Continue with your journey. I'm feeling
yes,
better now.
and this yeah, this is real deal information, guys. So let me tell you what happened. So evidently, my dad's mom was pregnant with him by his father, and I guess I don't know what really like happened, but I know what my dad tells me that my dad for years has held a grudge against his father and didn't want nothing to do with him because yeah, I guess he left his mother pregnant early on, or when he was born a little infant, and didn't do what he should have been doing as a father and just ran out. Well, my dad, all his life, my dad is 82. My dad has held a grudge against this man for years. This man lives in Florida. He's had kids, with another woman, family, happy family. Supposedly, I look just like his other granddaughter. Actually, no, his daughter. I look like my grandfather's daughter. I've never got to meet him or anything. Of course, we didn't get to know him or anything because my dad just exited him totally out of his life. But come to find out, um, this man is the one that created cranberry bogs to make the cranberry juice that became the company Ocean Spray. Um, Now you figure my dad's 82, so this man, I'm sure he's gone, by now. Quite some years back, him and my dad had words, at that point. But, that was something, well, we don't know these people. And we learned down the road quite some years, maybe 15, 20 years ago, that they sold it, and retired. At this point, he retired, he sold, and da 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 da. I've tried to actually look her up because my dad tells me, every now and then, did you find Selena, and she was the and I've looked up this woman, and I don't know the total connection, but my dad tells me about this girl, and she's related to his father. But this woman works for the Steve Wilkos show in Maury. She's some back producer, something, something, something. And she's related to my grandfather that I've never met. So, and as I became older and stuff, now I tell my dad, why you do that? We could have been rich. You should have let your pride get out the way in all
Damn.
these years.
Right.
He could have been, we all could have been working, da 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 da. And so,
Man.
so this man's kid, my grandfather's grandchildren are now rich and da 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 da. They're living the life
There
off
goes that
of
da 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 again. You
da
don't know
da
what
da
da da da da
da.
is. Hey, people chime in. Da 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 da. Do you know what da 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 is? I mean, is it so on and so forth?
That-
Use your imagination. Is that what that da 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 means? Because
yeah,
my
that means, yeah, just keep thinking.
I got a whole different idea where I thought we should be going. Like, if you have any information on and locations on where they're at, hell, if you're sure that the one of the producers on Maury is family, um, email me or make sure you text me her number, and I'll make sure that I get in touch with her, and maybe this could turn into a story.
Could be, could be, but yeah, that's
Because
what.
you know one of the shows that I have on this podcast, I'm not gonna say which one, but one of the co-hosts that I have with me is gonna be on the Dr. Phil show. I can't announce who it
Mm,
is until after
mm.
she goes on the show. But
Oh,
yeah, we have somebody that's going to be on the Dr. Phil show, and I'm excited to see how that works for her or him.
oh yeah, wow, yeah, that'll be neat.
So, but go ahead back to what you're saying. But like I said, make sure you make a note. I see you jotting stuff down. See the lady's name or who you assume it is, and I mean we in there. I'm going to make a ancestry.com hookup connection without using ancestry.com connection. Matter of fact, speaking of that, I've gotten some news also that some family that I have is always going to be my family because for the duration of the life that I've been breathing, I've known them all to be my family. So a DNA test is not going to change that. but um, it was pretty interesting to really find out how DNA goes and how faithful and unfaithful family members and well, just people in general can be. But
Yes.
anyway, because I mean, maybe all these diseases and stuff that come up are things that happen um, because of you know I mean, maybe this is conspiracy theoretical, but um, all the inbreeding that has done has lowered immune systems and
Mm,
means that maybe over the time of history of ma- man or humans,
man.
that's
Hmm.
where the diseases have evolved from in some cases. Obviously
Right.
some, in a lot of cases, well, I'm not going to say a lot of cases, but in cases they have been man-made. We all know.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That, that's true. It's you you never know. You know what I mean? And sometimes when things happen to people, you want to look for your family to find out, hey, this is what's happening to me. Is somebody experiencing, or how about my granny, your granny, down that line. And
Mhm.
there's been, I mean, to be honest, my mom did the same thing with her family. She disowned everybody, you know. And so we kind of were left like, okay, well, who do we belong to, and what did, okay, so well, if this happens to us, we don't know if our great aunt suffered the same thing. We only know what our parents have told us, about these people, about our family. um I've got some interesting things from my mother was doing family tree history for a few years before she fell ill. So I have all that information, and we contacted relatives from way back that I didn't know we had. I didn't know my mom had a colonel, a major colonel. It was her uncle, great, 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 great. He was a colonel. They owned slaves. And I mean, very interesting. I have all the paperwork, legal court documentation, and stuff like that. But um, as a little girl, summertimes, um, they lived in my mom's relatives. Some of them lived in Lodi, and they had a farm and orchards and stuff. We used to go out there, and we got to play with our cousins on that side. But it was only one uncle and aunt, their kids, and that was like two or three people. And then as we got older, teenagers and then adult, we drifted off. So I wouldn't even know. One of them owned, and I don't know if she still does, but she's my cousin. She's a little older than myself. When I had a balloon business and had an account with the Capitol here, I ended up crossing paths with her, and hers is the concierge, party concierge. She used to be out there off of Arden. Well, that's my relative who owns that. And so then, if you don't stay in touch, and if you're not used to that, then you just like, well, it becomes natural to you. You know what I mean? Until you think, man, I really need to know about my background or my family's background and stuff. And so you never know. And then so with my parents, like, oh, we don't deal with them. Okay, so then I'm raised not dealing with that side or those people. And you know what I mean? And you just never know. You don't get to find out. Is so and so, did they have lupus? Was somebody born, with autism and stuff like that? I have a granddaughter. Her name is Sinai Celeste. She's born with autism. And no one from my immediate or what I do know on both sides, which isn't a lot on one side and not a lot on the other side, but one side, okay, I know a little bit. And then on my son's father's side, they know a great deal. But I, if somebody was to ask me, about that history, I'm like, I don't know, and I don't know. And so and so's passed on now, so I can't get information from them. My mother has passed on. Um, So sometimes, at the end of something, or the beginning of something, I should say, it's important to know, your family. Um, with that being said, guys, I'm just about hitting my hour, and it's about time for me to take some more Tylenol and relax and call it an evening. I do want to say this, and this is just kind of a little random, but yet I could identify with it. And I've witnessed something these last 2 days, and I'm not going to get too personal with this, but if for those of you who, whether you have someone around you that cares about you and you're not related, that gives a shit about you, if it's a worker that you have coming in your home and they give a shit about you, if it's anyone that's going out of their way for you, and if you don't recognize, it could be an IHSS worker, they get close to you, you depend on these people to treat you with the utmost care and respect. That's like going into the hospital and being cared for, right?
Mhm.
I know because I have one. Okay. I cherish that person for what they are to me, what they're doing for me. I've witnessed some horrible things with someone getting very mistreated and depicting their character for an obvious control, being a control piece on the board. People, realize what you have before you treat somebody awful, because once you do, sometimes you can't come back from that, and you will realize you made a mistake and
Mhm.
you'll regret what you've done.
Yeah.
It's imperative to take care of the people who take care of us. I'm one of those people that depend on someone else to take care of me. And by damn, I'm pissed. I don't want to say too much about it, but that struck my chord today because I've seen it, witnessed, heard, and I'm one of those people that depend on someone else, and it's the utmost care. And people gotta come down off that high horse and realize, hey, you know, I have to check myself. Sometimes you need to check yourself before you really um um hurt somebody's character and their being for who they are. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. It just bothering me. So please, people, if you're being cared for and loved by, your caregivers, your friends, your family close to you, um, love them back. Love them back. That's all I'm saying. So guys, please don't forget, like, share, subscribe. It's all free. Come over, have a conversation with me, AG the dad. He's always cracking jokes, putting some laughter out there in the air, and you guys will have a good time. Let's talk about some multiple sclerosis or something that's on your mind. You may be sick or have a ill family member. Come over and talk about it. Maybe we could share some light, some information, some awareness. This is why we do what we're doing. So please, it's imperative, and it only takes a couple seconds. Share the videos. Share, 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 please. And that's for me tonight. And remember, as I do you, please keep me in your prayers, and take care of yourself. If you don't, who will? On that note, thank you everybody for joining in tonight. And I'm going to send you guys all my warrior vibes across the screen. There we go. Good night, everybody. Have a good night and a better tomorrow. See you here next Tuesday, 6 p.m.
Right on, right on. Hey,
Thanks, AG.
yep, yep, yep. No problem. Hey, prayers out to you for a speedy recovery. Um, if you guys don't like, share, subscribe, um, you know those little the baby Yoda and everything on her dresser, just so you know, is these right there behind her. Anyway,
Oh, it looks
anyway,
like
those are gonna come get you in the middle of the night in your dreams and crawl on you if you don't like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification button. You're gonna have nightmares about baby Yoda coming to get you, and he's gonna be like,
the child.
subscribe, shit talking Sundays, because every day is shit talking Sundays. AG the dad, you know. So
Yeah, that's scary.
well, with that being said, everybody, please stay blessed, love one another, cherish one another, and you know, if you got a journey you want to talk about, man, this is in the light of a journey. It doesn't necessarily have to be about multiple sclerosis. You see that sometimes I chime in and let people know about concussions. Sometimes we talk about the vid. So if you have an ailment, please chime in. Let somebody know. Reach out. Maybe we can help educate each other. All right. With that being said,
exactly.
Like, share, subscribe, hit that notification button. Go to my website, shittalkingsundays.com, and get our apparel. We have all kinds of stuff on there for shirts, bags, bobbleheads. Shittalkingsundays.com. Peace.
out to all the mothers out there. And we just wanted you to know
I'm thankful for you.
for all the times you whipped my ass just to keep me in line.
I'm thankful for you.
Everything you've done and you do
thoughts of my own. I could see the difficulties raising me all alone. Throughout the years we had our good and our bad, but you always came to the rescue all the times I made you mad. Depressed or even sad, I'm thinking it's just a fad. I apologize for it all, you're all I ever had. I'm thankful you gave me birth, I'm thankful for all you give. I'm thankful for the fact you love me and you love my kids. I'm thankful for what you taught me, I'm thankful for the Most High. I'm thankful we can talk and finally see eye to eye. I'm thankful you raised me strong, I'm thankful you raised me right. But most important, I'm thankful to have you in my life. I'm thankful for you, for all the times you whipped my ass just to keep me in line. I'm thankful for you,
everything you've done and you do just to keep me standing on two.
I'm thankful for you, 'cause you stand so strong and have my back even though I'm wrong. I'm thankful for you,
And without you I'd be a mess, man, or nothing at all. We didn't have a pot to piss in, but kept food in the kitchen. Hard-headed and wouldn't listen, that's why you were always bitching. Couldn't see the bigger picture, thought you relied too much on scriptures. Only now I'm realizing you can't take none of this with you. Working 2 9 to 5s, fighting just to survive. Walking a straight line while I waste potential and time. Calling that mess a grind, I was just rotting my mind. Thinking about it, crying, how could I be so blind? A blessing, that's what you are to have carried us all so far. I'm thanking you from my heart for bearing all of those scars. I'm telling you from the start, you never tore us apart. You never left us to suffer. The reason I craft this art, the reason I got this smile, the reason I got this game, the reason I got this style, the reason I'll never change is you. 'Cause without you I could never be the same, and that's the main reason why I would never quit saying